Today, we're going to be reacting to Sonic Frontiers 2 is Closer Than You Think by SF Productions. So let's get into it. Don't mind the do-rag.
2022 marked the release of Sonic Frontiers, which was nearly 3 years ago, by the way, just in case you didn't know. It's really hard to forget how long ago Sonic Frontiers came out. I think a lot of us remember it coming out not too long ago because it's the latest entry in the mainline series.
Dang, it came out 2022, I think he said. That's been a minute.
Unless if you count Superstars or Shadow Generations. Speaking of which, we've gotten so much Sonic content since Frontiers released. In 2023, we had Sonic Origins Plus, the 3 Sonic Frontiers content updates, along with Sonic Superstars, a brand new
content update was amazing. That final trial was
Sonic game. In 2024, we got Sonic X Shadow Generations, which included a completely new campaign with Shadow, and then of course there's Sonic Movie 3. And then this year, 2025, we have Sonic Racing Crossroads coming out in less than a couple of months. So the Sonic hype train has not been stopping at all. We've had at least one new game release every year. So is it really ridiculous to say that Sonic Frontiers 2, or whatever the next mainline Sonic game is, should be coming out as soon as next year?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say this. With Sonic Frontiers 2, I don't want them to have islands. I want them to do it Breath of the Wild style, where it's just one whole island where you could go and run to places and explore.
Let's take a look at Sonic Team real quick, because I think a lot of us are aware of the development cycle of Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Forces came out in fall of 2017, and it took exactly 5 years for Frontiers to come out. Of course, that time was likely extended due to the pandemic, and there was also that 1 year delay of Frontiers from the initial 2021 launch window. But with the huge success of Frontiers...
I'm glad it got delayed. If it turned out better than what it could have been, I'm glad it got delayed.
Sonic Team has grown tremendously. According to an interview with Takashi Iizuka, only around 50 to 60 people were involved with the development of Sonic Frontiers. And today, there are nearly 400 employees at Sonic Team. And we've seen the effects of this too. We've gotten both Shadow Generations and Sonic Racing Crossroads, projects that have both...
My boy Sonic doing good. My boy Sonic doing good.
Been handled in-house by Sonic Team. So we know of 2 projects that were being worked on at the same time within the team. So is it really that crazy to assume that they've been working on a third one as well? And by the time I'm expecting Frontiers 2 to release, it will have been 4 years since
2027 to be honest.
With all of that in mind, I don't think it's out of left field to assume that Frontiers 2 will drop during the holiday season of next year. But then there's the leaks, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about these because anybody can fake stuff like this. And I know that there were a few 4chan leaks for Frontiers 1 that did end up being true. I said
this in the last video. I think Sonic Frontiers 2 is coming out in 2027. If I'm being honest, because like it's almost the end of 2025, so them releasing a trailer now and then the game coming out next year, I feel like that might be a little bit too fast. So I think it's 2027 to be honest.
Still wise to take all of this stuff with a grain of salt. Anyway, as I was looking through some of these leaks, there were some ideas I saw that I do kind of like. Even though it's been speculated numerous times that this next game will take the open zone formula from Frontiers 1 and refine it, I really do think they're going to try to go with a fully open world Sonic game.
That would be amazing.
Massive area to explore.
Breath of the Wild, that's exactly. Thank you for mentioning it. I want this to be an open world like Breath of the Wild where you could just go to places with no restraints.
It's like Breath of the Wild. Look, I did like the islands in Frontiers, and I do think for the time that was the best choice they could have made, but I've always been itching for a fully open world Sonic game where you can run around and go wherever you want. And I think a lot of people have a problem with that idea just because of how most open world games are kind of the same. Sonic has always had a very unique environments. Well, maybe not always. But you get what I'm saying. Frontiers had pretty basic environments that you would see in most open world games. And while those environments could also work in this new open world game that I'm thinking of, I think there's gotta be more to these areas to make them stand out more. Like, we can take the grassy plains of Kronos Island, but populate them with things like villages with NPCs.
That would be nice. If I'm running around, I could just stumble upon a village at any time. I would like that. And also, with each island in Frontiers, there was like metal railings and bars. I feel like they could have like changed that to match the aesthetic of the islands. That's just my opinion.
Or large ruined buildings like an abandoned city from Kirby or The Last of Us. Bro, I'm sorry, that's funny. Like, these are 2 completely different games, and they both got the same ruined city. God damn it. And in the distance, you can see other landmarks and places to go. Sonic loves his casino levels, so what if you see a casino night-like city off in the distance? I think when you take all of those ideas for the level environments and lay them all out in an open world that makes sense, we would finally have an idea of where everything is in Sonic's world, you know? Now for the aesthetics. Okay, look, Look, I understand if you didn't like the more somber tone of Frontiers coupled with the realistic art direction.
To be honest, I didn't mind. I think that made the game look better and made it feel like more fresh and new. I like that.
I really do. But I can't sit here and act like I didn't like that stuff. While I don't want this next game to just be repeating the same notes as Frontiers 1, I think they should build upon it. I really do. Keep that serious vibe that Frontiers had, but maybe add in some more lighthearted moments to keep the traditional Sonic vibe intact. Yeah. And obviously with the more realistic art direction, I don't want empty basic wastelands. When I think of what I want from Frontiers 2 in terms of art direction, I sort of think of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but a little less realistic. As I sort of mentioned earlier, I kind of want Frontiers 2 to feel more alive and populated, because again, Frontiers 1 felt very empty, not just in terms of stuff to do, but also in terms of the inhabitants of these.
Keep in mind, it was their first attempt, and for their first attempt, was pretty good. Now they just have to make the next attempt even better. Just please, Sega, don't fumble this, please.
There's nothing. I think having some emptier sections would be nice, but overall, put more NPCs in here, man. Something. As for the gameplay, Frontiers was already great in that department. I really do still think that Frontier Sonic has some of the best control in the entire series.
Speaking of mechanics, I'm a little bit rusty on Sonic Frontiers. I need to hop back on that sucker, because I did the cyberspace rush challenge and got the medal for it. Did not do the fighting one though. Did not do that one. But if you do those cyberspace challenges, the rush mode, your cyberspace skills will be on a next level. You'll be able to do things in cyberspace that you couldn't do before. And I'm a bit rusty, so I might need to hop back on that.
For the most part. Look, I hate the sliders. I think they're stupid. I shouldn't have to fine-tune Sonic's physics to make it good. They should just be the best by default. And in cyberspace,
I like boost. I like when I went back to Sonic Frontiers after playing Sonic Generations because I wanted to see how it felt after I played Sonic Generations. The boost in Sonic Generations feels a lot faster. So when I went back to Sonic Frontiers, that boost didn't feel fast. I don't know, it's because it was an open world, so it didn't feel fast, but it didn't feel as fast as Sonic Generations.
It's terrible. But if you fix all of that, shit, it would be great. I might get a little bit of hate for this, but I do not think they should bring back Tails, Knuckles, or Amy as playable characters. I really do think they should just put their entire focus on perfecting Sonic. And maybe down...
I mean, yeah, I could see that. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if they didn't bring them back. If they brought them back, I'll be fine. But if they didn't, I'll be fine.
On the line, we get other characters as DLC. I don't know. But for the main game, I 100% believe that just having the gameplay focused on Sonic and his abilities would be much better in the long run. Progression. There are some differences I want to make here. In Frontiers 1, you had to run around collecting memory tokens. Then you would have to fight Guardians to get portal gears to go to cyberspace.
And then you have to fight the smaller enemies to get skill points. I also think the skill tree should have been a lot bigger. That's just me. I thought the skill tree would be a lot more bigger, but hey.
Which would give you vault keys to unlock the Chaos Emerald vaults. I think that whole thing was just a mess, and honestly pretty repetitive. I still think we should have cyberspace and the map challenges and all of that, but maybe tie them into actual objectives instead of just having you collect memory tokens. As much as I dislike Raya Island and Frontiers, I have to give it some credit because it finally changed things up after 3 consecutive islands of doing the
Them Raya towers were annoying. I fell down so many times.
Exact same thing. We should get more stuff like that throughout the entire game. Also, just ditch the vaults altogether and just have the Chaos Emeralds in cyberspace. Like, make cyberspace the special stages of this game. And if you don't want to play cyberspace, then there could be other ways to get the emeralds, like through mini games like Big's Fishing or, you know, something else. I don't know. Speaking of cyberspace,
I feel like then that would defeat the purpose of going into the cyberspace stages, so.
Was so disappointing in Sonic Frontiers. I know they were Sonic's memories or whatever, but it was super lame and honestly just felt kind of lazy, as not only were the level environments reused from previous games, but so were the actual level designs. I still think that linear levels should make a comeback in some way because I do like the boost mechanic and think it's very fun with good level design. So I have 2 proposals. For the first one, do cyberspace again, but incorporate completely new level design on par with Shadow Generations.
So in other words, make it better.
Along with making new stage environments. Or the second one, do something like Mario Kart World and actually have the linear stages baked into the open world. Now, with that second one, I'm not sure how possible that is because of how big the level.
Like I said earlier, Breath of the Wild, it had a massive open island where you could go anywhere you wanted to. And Tears of the Kingdom expanded upon that. The Sky Islands and the underground, the depths. I want Sonic Frontiers to have that massive island where you could just run around the big island.
Need to be to accommodate your speed. But in Sonic Frontiers, we had bits and pieces of long linear stage-like level design in the open zone. So I think it's possible, it just wouldn't be as effective as just making better cyberspace. With the Titan fights, there's not much I want to change here.
Yeah,
it's just that instead of having one per island, have one per region on the map, kind of like the Divine Beast from Breath of the Wild. Top that off with better animation and some actual solid replay value, and you're all set. The music is also something I think needs to be changed, but not in a huge way. Obviously, keep the variety with the more ambient instrumentals in the open zone, the electronic in cyberspace, and the metalcore for the Titan fights. But I think with the cyberspace music in particular, I don't really like the heavy EDM/dubstep focus. Maybe mix in some more drum and bass, some atmospheric jungle. I'm hella biased when it comes to that shit, but bro, just do it. I would also appreciate some dynamic music for the open zone. What I mean by this is that when you're kinda jogging around with not a lot going on around you, the calmer music plays, but as you speed up or you go into a combat scenario, that's when the tempo picks up and more drum and bass elements kick in. That would be pretty damn cool. For the Titan music though, like, yeah, just get Kellen Quinn back on. I'm sure we'd all be more than fine with that. So yeah, that's kind of my dream scenario for Frontiers 2. And it's also what I think could definitely happen, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Well, how long will we have to?
Also, I want them to add like costumes for Sonic, so like if you go into like a village, you can change Sonic's outfit. Like they had that with the whole Monster Hunter outfit and the Christmas hat outfit, but I want them to like add more outfits, maybe some outfits from past Sonic games, or like some new outfits. I would like that, like just running around in like your different drip, like that would be nice.
Wait, with the game theoretically dropping late next year, I think we could see the first teaser trailer by the end of this year, possibly at the Game Awards. In fact, I think that's the most likely scenario. Again, I think there are so many signs pointing to the possibility of Sonic Frontiers 2 being closer than a lot of us probably think, and I just can't wait to see what this next game has in store. But that's all for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.
Thank you for the amazing video. So yeah, that Sonic Frontiers 2, I want them to add so many things. What are some things you guys want to add? Because like I said, the outfits, if you could go into any village and change your outfit, that would be nice. Change the color of the outfit too, that'd be nice. But what are some things you guys would want to add to Sonic Frontiers and want Sonic Frontiers 2 to have? And with that said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're close to 500 subscribers, and I hope y'all could get there. Or we might be there by the time this video comes out. I don't know. But with that said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And with that, I'll see you next time. Woo.
You know we dancing for the win 'cause it's family. Who can stand against you over me? See my banner. Watch it through the city, shake the ground. Jericho